2 Tower Chimps is an achievement in Bloons Tower Defense 6 where you complete an entire Chimps game with only 2 towers. And yeah, I kind of made a community post which was, well, let's just say stupid of me to do so, because, well, I didn't even realize, and actually I misread this, but the Poppinor attack cooldown delay was reduced from 0.27 to 0.0675. Now, when I originally read it, I thought 0.675. So I missed out on a very big calculation there. And actually, aside the ceramic, lead, and Moab damage drop, the Poppinor is actually a bit of a different beast than Update 39. So yeah, if you remember that community post that I made, just forget about it and let's move on with our lives, okay? So today we're going to be doing this with the Prince of Darkness and the Poppinor on Cubism. And I did a test game and I managed to do this on Cubism. So let us see how far we can get through this and hopefully we'll be able to complete this. I know it's my second video of the same day and already we're having some issues which may require a fireball solution. We may need some intense magic, or actually some strong priority here would actually be better off, so let's try that actually. So if we just target the strongest most balloons and concentrate on the weak ones later, hopefully it'll be a bit better, but I don't know. Yeah, got rid of all the greens. Yeah, that's worked out much better actually, so put it on strong on round 9 and then hope to goodness sakes you'll be able to get through round 9 to get to round 10. And actually this is my second time featuring the Prince of Darkness on Cubism. Number 1 was the 2 Mega Pops and number 2 is this 2 Tower Chimps. Artillery up and running and in clutch timing as well. The base Mortis's attack damage has been buffed from 1 damage to 2 damage. So hopefully, come on, those last 2 there, excellent. So that artillery came in clutch here, and I keep calling it artillery, whereas mortar, I think it's the second name you could give it, honestly. Wall of fire up and running to be able to get that little bit more damage from the Wizard Monkey and be able to provide a means of being able to do a lot of damage for a little bit of time for a single balloon. Rapid faster reload. We will get rapid reload just as soon as we have the money for it. Although I think bigger blast will be better off at this given point in time. 20. After we get Balloon Buster and Heavy Shells, we will resort to Shimmer next because we don't require an immediate means of decamification since, well, our only camo threat at any given point in time within the 20s is around 24. Just like that. So we don't need Shimmer until we really need it. So just focus on more damage. Oh, and then there's these purples as well, which is going to be a big threat. We're going to have to rely on our artillery in order to pop the purples until we can get the necromancer up and running. Yeah, skim reading can sometimes be a big problem, and that's what I did with the Poppinor balance changes. It's just like, how on earth are people calling this a massive buff? But then I also skim read about the fact that Ninja Kiwi has made the Poppinor upgrade have a permanent artillery battery ability. So when it's firing super duper fast, well, that's now permanent, which I didn't even realize. I just look at balance changes and I skim over the information that Ninja Kiwi gives it to a tower, which is bad of me to do that because I honestly should not do that. Okay, skimmer is up and running. Next off, we will have the Necromancer unpopped army so that both of our towers can pop purple balloons. Obviously this can pop black balloons, but then again this can as well because of heavy shells. Heavy shells for the win against those black balloons, those zebra balloons. Anything that would normally be immune to explosive damage. Around 35. Necromancer is up and running. So I was like, I tried this on Frozen Over, and I literally managed to get it to the end where the bad is then popped, but then the ZMGs just crept away, and I didn't have a third Pop-a-Gnaw ability active for that round. If I had my Wizard Monkey a bit further north, then hopefully the Wall of Fire would have been a bit further north, and then the Wall of Fire would be able to affect balloons going along this part of the track as well. I'm sure it won't make a huge difference, you know, especially when there's like Moabs involved where their hitbox detection is bigger than the normal balloons. So let's just micromanage this, which is, as you know, my favorite aspect out of this entire game. When micromanaging is very important in order to get through the rounds, because of the kind of tower that you put down, you know you're gonna be in for a good time, question mark. Yeah, as of update 39, there have been several new combinations with Pop-a-Gnaw, and I was like, how the hell are people just discovering this now of this power? But I'm like, I underestimated the balance changes in and of itself, which is why I thought of earlier, thinking, why didn't people go for Pop-a-Gnaw when it's ceramic damage, it's lead damage, it's fortified damage, it's Moab damage? Maybe one of them is not even in the patch notes, but I'm like, there's all these buffs that have been taken away, so how is it only now so powerful? I'm like, okay, so the base mortar has been given a buff, so rather than going for 1 damage, it goes to 2 damage. And actually, because of Balloon Buster, it now smashes through 3 layers per pop. And because of the fact that this thing has a dramatic fire rate increase, which is what I misread as well from earlier, I literally thought this thing was just stupid. Like, why would anybody say that this thing has got a massive buff? But then I realized from lots of people commenting saying that the second thing that I pointed out is not a nerf but a buff. So yeah, 2 buffs and 4 nerfs. But strangely, those 2 buffs are second to none when it comes to this thing. We now have the Prince of Darkness fully operational. I'm going to put you down there because until we get to round 81, if we have the cursor over here, what's going to end up happening is that these bigger undead balloons is going to end up popping balloons outside of the pod's radius. So therefore, our graveyard won't be going up as much otherwise. So that is why we kind of have it over here rather than over here where, let's say, for example, if we do put it over there. Let's put it over here, and then there's some increase, but not a huge amount. And between now and round 80, even though there are rounds with Moabs on it, there are still far more non-Moab class balloons than there would be otherwise. Let's put it over here so we do some initial damage against the BFB. Let's activate the ability. So this ability activation, when you get Pop-a-Gnaw, this fire rate increase is permanent on it. And yeah, I really wish I could read properly without rather just reading some bits and thinking, well, bloody hell, what the hell has Ninja Kiwi done? Yeah, so sometimes it works here, but that's only when a Moab comes along. But the majority of the time, we will be losing out on our graveyard if we have our cursor over here. But nonetheless, we are in this in the long run. So tight rounds are going to be round 90. I'd say we start from round 94, then 96, round 97 as well because of 2 fortified ZMGs, round 98, round 99, not so much. We could put our cursor down here and the fortified DDTs will be just popped, and including all their insides as well. I'm not sure yeah, it does do damage because it ignores the black layer, so when it comes to immunity. So this thing can damage DDTs, which is good. The other 2 paths, well, then again, aside from Blue Incineration and Shattering Shells and Signal Flare, but it's like, the top path is the one that struggles against DDTs, but these 2 other paths can damage them. But I'd say the bottom path is better against DDTs, whereas this is better against a huge number of balloons, like masses of ceramics. The Balloon Incineration struggles with, but the Pop-a-Gnaw excels in, especially when its ability is activated. Yeah, we're kind of dipping our graveyard count at times, so we're going to put it back over here, and this is going to kind of gradually increase. Like, we're just relying on our magical bolts at the moment to pop them, and for some odd reason, when you go to Prince of Darkness, the bolts that it fires gets a massive increase when it comes to the amount of layers that it goes through, which is nice. It gives this some means of offensive capabilities outside of the undead balloons that it spawns from its graveyard. Right, at the end of round 74, so you are able to get yourself both the pod and the pa. Yeah, I'm calling it the pa. P-A-A, pa. Round 75. Pa, 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 pa. It goes with its shells. Right, round 77 completely obliterated. And normally round 78 is quite a difficult round. But yeah, this is just going to absolutely whitewash everything. And I didn't even show round 76 simply because of the fact that it just ended up like this. Like, you weren't missing out on anything, really. We just absolutely decimated the competition. Round 78, let's put you on that. And yeah, as you can see now, it has the permanent artillery battery ability applied to it in a way. And it's just raining shells. Attack rate permanently increased. The Balloon Buster means it smashes through 3 layers per shell. Yes, it's only 3 layers, but when you can throw enough at a wall, some of it will stick in a way. And this does stick. Now, we are going to face some issues with the solo ZMG rounds, because we're going to need to really rely on our pop and R here in order to actually get the hits on it. Otherwise, our graveyard on our pod is going to run out sooner than we want it to. And, to be honest, this thing struggles against ZMGs. Like, it excels against DDTs, but it really struggles against ZMGs. Actually, I should put my cursor down here so that this in some ways damages it with the undead. Why are you going up? Oh, maybe it's because of where I had it initially. So yeah, let's have that damage it initially. And then hopefully once it gets to the center here. And there we go. So yeah, the pod in update 39 got a range increase, which is pretty nice. But what I think is an even more update, a more important update, is that its decamoufying of DDTs actually works. Like, I tried a Prince of Darkness and Adora 2TC on Resort, but what I ended up finding in before update 39, is that if you pop the bad too soon and try to get the pod to decamoufy the DDTs, what you can end up doing is not decamoufying them whatsoever when it tries to decamoufy them the first time. So what you're going to end up doing is relying on that second decamoufying shimmer in order to try and decamoufy them, but obviously you couldn't be able to do it because, well, the DTs are too late into the track and you're going to die. Which is fun. So, but in update 39 you can get it so that you can preemptively pop a bad, and then when the 2, 3, I've forgotten the amount now, DDTs get to the exit, or when it gets in the range of a Prince of Darkness, it can actually decamoufy them now, which is brilliant. Round 84. Oh my god, look at this destruction right here. In a way, we do kind of need to focus our shells on the ZMG so that this has an easier time and it can just solely focus on the BFBs and Moabs and ceramics. But there will be a point where the number of ceramics will just be simply too overwhelming. Okay, so put this back over here so that you can actually do damage to these ZMGs, because ZMG only rounds are a big menace for our graveyard. Not for our artillery, but for the graveyard. I know I should call it mortar, but artillery is just, it's just a name that comes to my head first before mortar. There we go. Okay, I'm glad that we've got the pops down and counting at the moment because of the fact that it then replenishes our graveyard here. Put that over there. Fortified BFB. I'll say this, like, In a way, they're better than ZMGs, but definitely not as good as, let's say, a regular BFB when it comes to being able to pop them as soon as possible in order to replenish our graveyard here. Your graveyard is really important on your pod in order to maximize its power. And without the power, its attack possibilities are severely limited against Moabs. Okay, keep on going. Now, I've not yet once used the pop and all ability. I have used the ability when it was just in its artillery battery stage at tier 4, but here, okay, so let's put that over there. I should have done that a long time ago, actually, so that more of these undead come out. So I'm going to put that over here, a bit more centralized spot. We're going to keep on doing this, and now, because of the fact that a lot of these have been popped, our graveyard has been replenished, which is good. So put that up there, round 88. Yeah, I'm going to showcase all of these rounds, but if we do fail at any given point in time, then I will obviously just crop out the failures and the dull moments where I've already shown that part of a round, but not really, because there's another attempt at the same run. So yeah, this is round 88 with the Prince of Darkness and Papa Nor. Pretty cool, isn't it? So this particular combination's been done on logs, been done on resort, and been done on scrapyard. But according to the ye old Blue Tail Defense 6 Index and the Submissions Archives, there's yet to be one on Cubism, unless of course by the time I have uploaded this video somebody has already done it, and therefore my statement has been completely invalidated. Round 90, this is where our first rare DETs comes into play, but yet they are all done and dusted. So yeah, several super fortified ceramics, no issue whatsoever. Let's put this back to a more centralized location. I do kind of want to preserve our pop and no ability because it takes quite a long time to come back. What I can find is on Cubism you can use it up to 3 times, and then depending on when you use it the 3rd time is depending on whether or not you can pop everything. Because the ZMGs make it to this point of the map, which is very scary, so therefore you need to rely on the stuns and the shells in order to make your way through the round. Gosh, the ZMGs are honestly a nightmare. Especially if you're just solely relying on this to pop the ZMG at the very end of the round itself. Let's see, round 93, more DDTs. Honestly, I'm not worried about DDTs whatsoever. They are, aside from fortified DDTs in some ways, DDTs with this particular combo is not a threat whatsoever. Like, this can pop black balloons, and once they're decamoufled by the pod, then this can damage DDTs, as well as the undead can, as well as the wall of fire can. ZMGs. ZMGs are sometimes so annoying because they're so slow and so bulky. Like, I've always said this a lot of times, but they're a big threat to ZMGs if they're the only target. Round 94 is being completed. And there we go. Round 95 is here. Yeah, we're just going to watch the absolute massacre of this round, and we're just going to be on our way. And hopefully we live to fight another day. There we go. Yes. Yes. Look at that beautiful side of balloons being absolutely charred into the nothingness. Right, round 96. I'd say this is our first threat. This is our first threat where if we don't micromanage this, we might end up having the game over screen. Okay. I think it's mainly these ZMGs which are going to cause the threat for me here, so I'm going to try and preemptively aim at those. Was it Frozen Over where this was giving me a bit of grief? Now that I think about it, Frozen Over was probably the map that gave me grief with this particular combo, which I try to do. But when it got to the very end of the map, that was when like the ZMGs were just not being popped whatsoever. So I'm like, I know Frozen Over is at this current stage possibly not doable with this particular combination. Then again, these super ceramics are making. Okay, so fortified ZMGs, you are a pain in the groin here. So what I'm going to do is I will use the ability so that there's just a little bit more time for you to be on the field. I'm going to switch us now to over here. We need as many pots as possible on these ZMGs as we can. Then if I can, I'd like to divide these up and pop them one at a time. But this honestly is a round that sucks. Because these fortified ZMGs are so tanky. Okay, so I'm going to move you down here now, actually. I'm going to make it so that you catch the stragglers. And it'd be best if I can just concentrate on one of these ZMGs at a time. But honestly, I don't think that's going to be a possibility. Okay, now it's spawning BFB class undead, which is good, which means our graveyard is being replenished, and that is good. That's brilliant. Okay, so let's move that back over there. So I want to use this ability as early as possible because I want to use it on round 100 as early as possible just to get that little bit more damage inflicted. So let's try and do it then and there. But these ZMGs are going to be a massive threat. And all these fortified super ceramics are going to be a big threat as well. So I might have done that too early. May never know. I'm going to move this down here now because I'm really worried about all these stragglers. And the fact that, oh my god, all this is being completely chewed up over here. So I'm going to put this down here. And hope that this pops some more. There we go, in a way. Oh gosh, I'm still relying on this because I'm too worried about moving this to a point of no return. And this feels like a point of no return, but this is going swimmingly well, actually. In a way, going well. Don't want to try and jinx this up for myself. Oh my goodness sakes. Are we actually going to do this? Are we actually going to do this round? Oh my god, there's so much PS to try and compensate. Okay, that is good. I'm going to leave that there, actually. And our ability is ready. This is excellent. This is truly excellent. So yeah, these fortified deities are kind of making their way through, but oh gosh, this is huge. This is really huge, and I am so nervous right now. Okay. Try and maximize our damage as much as we can here. I'm going to put this over here so that these kind of loop around, and now they're only the Moab class zombies. That these actually travel further than these do, so, and they obviously travel faster because they're a smaller class Moab here and there, but this is something else. This is truly something else, and I am mighty nervous. Because it all comes down to the timing of the third ability. We're going to move you over here so that if we can pop the DDTs within your range, we can do so. Okay, venom there, venom there. Excellent, 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 excellent. Okay, move you up there. Use that now. No, why you be popped? Okay, that is horse rubbish. In my test games, that kind of popped a bit earlier, but then again, because of the fact we didn't have our cursor at the very start of the map here, that's probably why. Okay, your cursor is there so that the BFB class zombies can damage the bad at all times, and then this is now. I can't even see. I can't even see my cursor. It's definitely behind it. So yeah, go over there, and then there's that. So this should be the one. This should be the one. Let's just use the ability to give it a little bit more damage. Maybe it doesn't even do anything, but it gives me a little bit of peace of mind knowing that I can do it. Okay. So that spawned the last BFB class undead that it can. Let's just keep on focus firing at this thing, and hopefully we'll be able to take this down this time around. Yeah, this could be considered stuff I've already been over before, but I think we're going to have more success this time around because we were ready at the start of round 100, whereas on our first time around, we also had to deal with the remnants of round 99. Okay, so we're going to put this over here now in the hopes that these can do damage still to the bad. Okay, it's now down to its last 25% of the health there. There. And I'm hoping that this might be it. Hopefully. Use it now. Okay, that's good. I'm going to leave it solely up to... Okay, I need to pop these. Why aren't you being popped, DDTs? That is... Okay, I need to focus fire with the popping on the DDTs there. Okay, pops with DDT, which is good. Now we have to solely focus on these ZOMGs. And, yeah, because of the fact that the DDTs were popped in the radius of the pod, it means we have some undead at our disposal here, which is doing a little bit of damage against these ZOMGs. Oh, dearie me, this is really nerve-wracking because the timing of this pop or not is incredibly important. Like, we had it ready at the start of round 100, which is always optimal when your ability reliant on any kind of run here. But this is almost at the ready to be used. But I'm not too sure if I left it too late at its second usage when it was still bad. Okay. I know I have it ever ready, but I really need to hold it off as soon as possible. Come on, come on, come on. Oh. I think I used it too soon there. I really need to use it at the last moment while the ability is still active so it also pops the ceramics. Yes! Finally! Oh, goodness sakes, it felt like there wasn't any RNG in that point. Thank you very much. But then again, it could also be the fact that the Prince of Darkness was just in range in order to try and help us out with those pops. But that is good. That is possibly the first two-tower chimps ever with the Poppernaut on Cubism. So I'm looking through the list here. There's only 12 records. A lot of them on logs, some of them on resorts, and there's one on scrapyard. But none, sorry, 3 of them on resort, but none on Cubism. That right there is beautiful. Thank you all so much for watching. And yeah, I simultaneously made a fool of myself and slapped myself by myself. Thank you so much for watching. That has been the Prince of Darkness and Poppernaut 2 Tower Chimps. We'll be returning back to custom maps in the next time around. Thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to give this a thumbs up, a comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And remember, if you have an avatar like this, you will succeed. Thank you all so much for watching and take care of yourselves, everybody.